I'm your host, Tony Prince. How you guys doing today, boxing fans? Boxing fans, I'm coming to you today so we can talk a little bit more about the fight, Spence and Terrence Crawford. Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. That's right. So, a lot of people are sitting back. Everybody's picking sides, and everybody's saying Crawford's going to win the fight. Spence is going to win the fight. Well, there are several fighters that are out there that think that Earl Spence is going to win the fight. Spence has the blueprint to beat Terrence Crawford, and that is with pressure. There's a fighter by the name of Hank Lundy who fought Terrence Crawford, who gave his opinion on one of the other podcast channels on what he thinks and how you can beat Terrence Crawford. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play that video for you so that you could hear it. Now, this is what he's saying. I personally lean towards Earl Spence, and the reason why I lean towards Earl Spence is because the way I see it is Earl Spence's pressure is too much for Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford has shown us what's in his bag, and there's not too many other things that's in his bag. We know he can fight right-handed. We know he can fight left-handed. We know he likes to get his rest at mid-range. Well, a pressure fighter don't give you the opportunity to breathe, okay? You have to fight. Make Terrence Crawford fight. See where his heart really is. Does he have the heart to go 12 hard rounds in a war? No one has put Terrence Crawford through a war yet, okay? And for me, there's a lot of questions that I still think that Terrence Crawford needs to answer. And this is the fight where we'll find out who Terrence Crawford really is. We all know who Earl Spence is. He's the #1 welterweight in the world with the 3 titles. Terrence Crawford, pound for pound list, but the pound for pound list is not up for grabs, okay? The titles are up for grabs. So the pound for pound list, I take that and throw that out the window, okay? Yeah, you did something as a lightweight, okay? You're in a new division now. If you could get in this division and you could conquer this division, hey, more power to you. I give you super big props. In fact, you could go down as one of the greatest fighters of all time if you can do that. But I think Earl Spence got a lot to say about that, okay? His resiliency, his inside of the ring, I have never seen it before, okay? So we're going to find out what type of heart Terrence, okay? We've seen Spence in with the best opposition, the very best opposition, period, in the welterweight division. So there's no doubting it, the best. So now we're going to find out, is Terrence Crawford for real, or was he a hype job? Because, hey, not taking nothing away from the man. The man's a great fighter. But is a lot of this hype on Terrence Crawford instead of work? That's what I'm talking about. Yes, he beat Sean Porter. Yes, he beat some good fighters. He beat Sean Porter. He beat Kell Brook. He beat Amir Khan. Okay? All right? He beat Victor Postal. But if I'm correct, those are his only big name fighters that I really know about. And I never even knew who Frank Postal was for a long time. Okay? So we'll find out. We'll find out what he's got. Without further ado, I'm going to play this video. So you guys just bear with me here right quick. All right, I'm going to share this video with you, and it's coming right now. So let's see what's happening here. Everything's ready. Looks like we're ready to go. Here we go.
Okay. You fought arguably the pound for pound top fighter in the world. Right. It's been talked to him possibly fighting Earl Spence. Have you ever sparred with Earl?
No. I ain't thought he was in before he came out playing around with him, but he laughed at me. They was like, Hank, you crazy. You know what I mean? But never sparred with him, you know what I mean? But I think it would be a good fight, you know what I mean? Styles makes fights, but there's a couple holes that I see in Crawford, you know what I mean? And some things I see in Earl, but you know what I mean? If you want me to give my pick, he has to pay me, because I know who will win that fight.
All right, let me ask you this, right? What are some of the things that you saw in Bud that you tried to exploit during the fight? Because I know you had some success.
Right. All right, listen. If you looked at when he fought out, when he thinks you're a threat, he comes out southpaw from the rip. You know, what he did with me, he started off right-handed, then he turned, stepped back and turned, you know what I mean, southpaw from the grip. He knew I was a threat. So when he know you a threat, he switch around and he wastes no time to go southpaw. Then when the fight go on, then he try to go offset you. That's what, you know what I mean? But you know, and I noticed, you know, inside fighting, my guy want range, you know what I mean? He want range. So, but a fight with him and Earl Spence, you know, he would get his hands off, but what happens when you got a guy to keep pressure on you, keep touching you? It makes the fight interesting, you know?
So, after this fight,
Right.
What could possibly bring you to 140? Because I know you said 35,
Right.
40, or 47.
Oh, listen.
It had to be big money or big opportunity.
Big opportunity, you know, but at the end of the day, you gotta think about it, these guys ain't gonna call my name out. They know what I do. I go 135, 140, and I can pay me both of them. You know what I mean? But they want me at 134. If it's good for us, good for Team Hammer, you know what I mean? Let's get it. We running up for nobody. We can handle ourselves at 140. You know, actually, I'm a big 30. You know, everybody taller than me at 35. Body wise, I'm a big 135 pounder. You know what I mean? So 140, I can hold my own at 140.
Now, Josh Taylor's going to fight Jose Ramirez at 140.
Right.
After that, move up to 47.
Right.
All the belts are going to be vacant, right?
I ain't
Is that
going
something
to
that you got?
I ain't going to 140.
Okay.
I'm going to chase a world title. I got everything else. I'm going to chase a world title. You know, I did everything in this game. I'm chasing the world title. That's all I want. That's why I'm still in the game. A lot of guys from Philly, they came up with me. They retired. I'm in this game for a world title. I'm going to get it before I leave. You know what I mean? I will not be denied.
Okay. Thanks, Hank. I appreciate it.
Listen, Hammer and Hank come to a city in town near you. Watch out, it's Hammer time.
My man.
Okay, folks, there you go. Lundy, he's clearly stated pressure, okay? Pressure is one of the things of Terrence Crawford. He likes to have that range so he can rest. He likes to have that range so he can rest. So pressure, you know, like he said, styles make fights. So we're going to find out, does Terrence Crawford have that dog in him like he talks about, the dog in him to continue to go to war for 12 rounds? Remember something, folks. No fighter is guaranteed a second round. You only have 3 minutes to be great. That's all that you have. And if by chance no one gets knocked out, no one gets a cut, or they don't stop the fight on something stupid, then you get another 3 minutes. But from that beginning bell, all you have is 3 minutes to be great. Period. That's it. So everything is going to boil down to that first round. The way to beat Terrence Crawford, start off with your jab and continually moving forward to pressure him. We know Crawford's going to try to create space. We know that. But does Crawford have enough in him to fight the #1 welterweight in the world in a war? That is the question. Some of you Crawford fans are going to be, oh, hell yeah, he's got it. You never seen it. So how do you know? You don't. Okay, just because he fought Porter that way doesn't mean he can fight Spence that way. Okay, that's what that means. Okay, and if you go back, there's a couple other fights that he had. Okay, Yuriorkis Gamboa in the 9th round clocked and hurt Crawford. Okay, go back and look at the fight. Because a lot of you guys are going to say, I don't remember him getting hurt in that fight. That's because you really wasn't paying attention to the fight. You just watching what Crawford was doing. And that was it. You wasn't paying attention to what the other fighters do. True fight fans pay attention to what both fighters are doing. And they know, okay? Crawford got hurt in the 9th round when he fought Yuriorkis Gamboa. Eventually, Crawford pulled it out and won the fight, okay? But he got hurt. He does that against Spence. Night night. Period. That's it. Okay? I'm telling you. This is why I picked Spence over Crawford any day of the week, and you could take that to the bank and cash a check on that. Okay? Guaranteed. That's coming from me. That's my opinion. But I'll let you have your opinion. And then once the fight happens, then you can say, I told you so. Or I could just go, okay, now that fight's over and I was right, then we can move on to something else. All right? So we also see some other fighters that are out there, some up and young and coming fighters. A guy now by the name of Speedy Ellis. This guy, he turned out to be pretty good fighter, a lot of speed, okay? You know, he reminds me a little bit of Hector Camacho a little bit. His style a little bit, the way he fights, the way he moves. He reminds me of Camacho a little bit. We also got Frank Martin out there. Frank Martin, I saw him fight just last week, and you know, I was like, okay, this guy's pretty good. He's pretty good, but he was getting hit with some big shots, and I started getting concerned because I thought he was having some sort of stamina issues. Okay, that's what I thought. Now I could be wrong, but from what I saw, he started slowing down. He was getting hit with big shots, and he started backing off, and he started slowing down a little bit. So I was wondering, does this guy have stamina issues? Because he was fighting so great in the beginning, then all of a sudden, when he started getting clocked with really hard punches, he started backing off a little bit, and he started slowing down a little bit. So my question is, does he have stamina issues? If he tend to fight a Tank Davis, and he goes into a Tank Davis, and he's got some sort of stamina issues, brother, you're going to go night-night. Okay, you better be ready if you're gonna fight Tank, because that man's got power in both hands. Okay, yeah, you can have great skills, but timing beats skills any day. Okay, and Tank has already proven that he's got time. So find out. You know, the guys, all these incoming guys, a lot of them are out there. A lot of them, some of them are hype jobs. Okay, you know, one that's out there who's a great fighter, not taking the Boots Ennis, but Boots Ennis never really been tested before. Okay, I think the toughest fighter that he's fought was Lipin Yates, who was a world champion. That's it. He hasn't really been tested. There's a lot of questions that we have Boots Ennis. And I want to see what type of fighter he is. Does he have the heart? Does he have the heart to stay in there for 12 rounds in a hard fight, in a war? Can he do it? We don't know because we ain't seen him do it. Most of the guys that put in front of him, he beat him, okay? And he did it in impressive fashion. But does he have the heart to stand in there for a war? That is the question. That's when you find out how good a fighter really is, okay? All right, guys, so that's all I got for you guys. All right, look for us to be doing some more pre-recordings and putting them out there. All right, guys, you guys have a great day. And if you guys like this sort of content, please like and subscribe. Help us reach 1,000 subscribers so that we can build this community. And we want to be all about the fans. Boxing Profiles wants to be all about the fans. We want to give you an opportunity to ask questions. We want to give you an opportunity to voice your opinion so we can display your thoughts on the screen. Okay, and if your thoughts is something that's really intriguing, we will invite you on the show. Okay, just that simple. We will invite you on the show via television or your cell phone, however we do it. Okay, however we do it, we will invite you on the show. So guys, all right, just be looking for Boxing Profiles. Okay, we have the right to agree to disagree without arguments. Okay, and we're not going to get into this thing with other podcasters because I'm noticing something about them. You got podcasters, one podcaster saying this about this other podcaster, and this and that. Well, Boxing Profiles, we're not into that sort of confusion. Boxing Profiles is Boxing Profiles. So while they're over there arguing, we'll be over here making the best of boxing. If boxing is going to be great again, then we as fans have to bring up these conversations. We as fans need to tell these promoters we want to see great fights. Boxing, you have to up your game. MMA currently right now is they're showing fights on national television, okay, that are free. National television is that free. Boxing, when we had this pay-per-view event, there's only 3 fights on the card. Okay, an MMA pay-per-view event, the one that I saw, it started at 3 o'clock and it ended at 10 o'clock. There was a number of free fights that were on that card that were great MMA fights. Okay, and then we watched the pay-per-view part of it right afterwards. But it was 3 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night. Boxing, if you're going to be great again, we need to bring back Friday night fights. Okay, promoters, if you're out there and you hear this, we need to bring back Friday night fights, okay? I mean, hey, even Tuesday night fights, okay? All right, fights at the Blue Horizon. We need to bring these things back to boxing to make boxing great again. Because currently right now, come on, all we getting is everything is on pay-per-view, okay? And boxing fans are starving for great fights. And if you really want to see great fights, it's all these up-and-coming fighters that are hungry, okay? These are some of the best fights that you'll see in boxing because there's talent that's there that we don't know about. This is why it's important for us to bring back boxing, put it back on TV for Friday night fights. That's why it's important. And that's what we want to do here at Boxing Profiles TV. Boxing Profiles TV, we also are looking at getting us a channel on Roku. Here we are right here, folks, right here. The bottom line, we're still in the private mode currently right now, and we're looking at hosting, boxing, bringing back Friday night fights on Boxing Profiles TV, folks. That's right, Boxing Profiles TV. That's what we're doing. We're here, and we want to be all about boxing. So promoters, if you see this, get in touch with me. You can shoot me an email, boxingprofilestv@gmail.com. That's all you got to do. All right, guys out there, that's all I got for you guys. Peace, love, keep punching, and don't get punch drunk. That's what's up. I'm out.